Are you ready for 2025? Every year around this time, around after Christmas time, right before the New Year, or right before New Year's Eve, I should say, I make an effort to sit down and write down my goals for the upcoming year. So right here I have my 2024 goals that I wrote. I even dated it. I wrote them on Tuesday, December 26, 2023. Goals for 2024, and I just have them listed. And right now I really just want to reflect on my goals for 2024, how I did with them, and really just talk a little bit about my first full calendar year in business. So right off the bat, I wrote a few words here, which is gratitude, patience, hard work, and discipline. Those were kind of my 4 pillars that I really wanted to focus on in 2024. I think I did pretty well with it, and some of my goals reflect that, talking about gratitude and hard work and discipline, obviously patience. If I'm looking back, I think I did a pretty good job. Gratitude was one I did really well with at the beginning. First half of the year, I wanted to do a gratitude entry every week where I just went through what I was grateful for the week previous, and I nailed it every week. I didn't skip one. Then as I got into the second half, it became less about writing it down and more about just being conscious of it and making an effort to reflect. So even in the first video I posted, I had a whole sit down when I was smoking a cigar, just talking about what I've been grateful for at that moment. I think in a clip in this video too, I talked a little bit about being grateful for your family around the holidays. So I've done pretty well with that one. Discipline, I think I've done pretty well too. When I made the decision to start a business and go full time into it, I didn't know what to expect, but what I told myself was, if I'm going to do this and if I'm going to go all in, every day I need to do the same thing over and over again and just build the habits. And I told myself, if I stick to that and do the same things over and over again where other people would quit because it gets boring or whatever, then there's no way that I won't at least see a little bit of success. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened, right? In the beginning, I prioritized just outreach. Every single day I would send at least, I think it was 30 outreach emails, and I got clients from it, right? Maybe I don't know the exact numbers, but let's say out of 100 emails, I got a few clients out of that. So I was really dedicated to making sure I did the same things on repeat and built the good habits, because in my mind, and what I told myself was, it's impossible to fail if I do so. This year, my goals were really about refining it and building it. So I got it off the ground, and this was about building it to a pretty stable income level where I could pay myself a decent amount, or at least pay myself what I was making in my previous full-time job, and still have some left over to, if I have to pay editors or maybe hire somebody, whatever. And I did that, which was great. What are a couple other ones? I'll make my first hire for video editing and sales. I made my first hire for video editing. Practice gratitude. So at the time that I wrote this, I only had clients that were paying around $500 a month. One of them was, I will land clients with a $2,000 per month minimum retainer that they pay me. I have multiple that sometimes they pay over 2K, sometimes it's just under, but I have a few clients now that are paying that much, so got that one. So one that I wrote down that I think is interesting is, I will learn to better enjoy the journey that I'm in through gratitude and patience. I think when I wrote this, I was obviously a little bit more in survival mode. And I think it's important to note that when you are in survival mode, you're not going to be able to enjoy it as much. You still will enjoy it, but you're a little bit more stressed because you need to make sure you're making money. You need to you're working fast. You're trying to outwork the clock and your competition just to land those first few clients. As the year went on and I grew it a little bit more, I definitely noticed myself enjoying the process more, enjoying working with clients, enjoying having 5 different prospects on the go and trying to close as many as I can. I enjoyed that. Obviously, I'm kind of documenting some of it now, so I've enjoyed that and kind of watching it back and kind of revisiting those emotions and everything. So I think 2024 was a successful year, and I'm going to take these next few days to kind of draft up my 2025 playbook, if you will, the goals for 2025 and maybe some new pillars or maybe keep the same. But all in all, the reason I wanted to say this and talk about this and videotape this was just, I think it's really important to, I'm not a new year, new me guy. I actually think the new year is really stupid. I think a lot of people use it as an excuse to kind of do whatever they want towards the end of the year and then, oh, it's a new year, I'll just start fresh. And a prime example of that is people who start the gym in the new year and then they fizzle out by February because they haven't built the actual foundations necessary to be a gym goer, somebody who consistently goes. That's why discipline was one of my pillars, right? Because anybody can do something for a month, maybe even 2 months. For me, I've been going to the gym consistently. I have not missed a consecutive maybe 2 weeks in 6 years. When I've been lacking discipline in other areas of my life, I've really kind of sat down and reflected and been like, why do I have so much discipline when it comes to going to the gym? And why can I not transfer that into all the other areas like work, like friendships, relationships, all that stuff? And I think what I reflected on, what it came down to was my why was so strong for the gym. I was chubby growing up. I was called names, whatever, like typical story. It's not a sob story. I'm just saying it for the purpose of telling you that I never want to go back to that. I never want to be overweight again. I never want to be looked at as objectively unattractive, whatever it is. So I go to the gym for that reason, also to stay level-headed and exert energy and obviously be healthy. So I think once I realized that, I was able to kind of transfer it into other things. So a big one for business, a big why of why I started was I had a little bit of an inclination that I wanted to start a business, but I honestly didn't know if I could do it. There was like some questioning there. I'm like, okay, I don't know if I can do it. So one of the biggest whys when I started was I need to prove to myself that I can successfully start a business, because if I don't, I'm going to spend the rest of my life being like, yeah, I think I could have, or I don't know if I could have, or yeah, maybe I could have, rather than knowing for certain. Who knows what's going to happen, but I can now say that I've started a business, I've built it up to making more money than I was making in my old job, and I live on my own and it covers all my expenses and some. I can still enjoy myself, I still travel and all that stuff. So now I'm kind of working on new whys and making sure that I can get to the next level. All that to say is it's super important to use the new year as not a time to go new year, new me, but just a time to do a mental reset. Write down what you want to do, write down what you want to achieve, and just make sure you do it. Start before the new year. Never go, if you're writing your goals beforehand and it's, oh, I want to start the gym, you start the gym right when you write the goal. You don't start it, Jan 1st, I start. Because Jan 1st turns into Jan 2nd because you're hungover from New Year's Eve. And then you just have it in your mind that you get that gratification. When January hits, you complete the whole month, and then it kind of fizzles out because you're like, I don't care anymore. Whereas if you start in December when no one is talking about it, nobody cares about nobody cares about their goals in December, a majority of people, obviously. They don't care about it till January. You're already one leg up, and that just gives you that extra motivation to just steam through January in 2025, or the new year, whatever year it is. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
A lot of people are just scared to post content online. Don't be scared. When I talk to future clients, they're worried about what people might think, how they'll perform, if they'll get stage fright. So what? What are you waiting for? Post that video, talk about that topic, put yourself out there. Everyone else is, but don't just do it to do it. Make it the best version of yourself, be who you want to be, and most importantly, use PJ Media to do it. PJ Media, you made it.